Hey guys, my name's Eric with Thunder Mountain Bikes. Thanks for tuning into our YouTube channel.
And I'm Angel, and we're here to talk about the SRAM Maven Brakes.
All right, so we're going to talk about the Maven brakes today in a bit of like a long-term sense. We've been riding these now since February of this year, so a good couple months. Me personally, I've been riding them with on like a mid-travel trail bike, and the previous brakes before these were SRAM Code RSCs. So I got a pretty good idea now of how they compare to, SRAM's most popular brake probably currently. My biggest takeaway with these now is just their like immense braking power and the way it ultimately has kind of changed the way I use my brakes on my mountain bike. I use smaller rotors than I did before. I used to run 200 rotors front and rear. Now it's 180 front and rear. And my biggest sense is my overall like squeezing with my hands is just less over the course of a ride, even just on familiar features for me that I'd ride all the time. There's just less effort overall. I think that gives me more confidence, more control. Just kind of really suits my preference for how I like my brakes to be.
So when I put these on my bike, I had it on a mid-travel bike, and it was pretty cool to see the difference between that because I ran the Code RSCs before that, or before these, better said. And the amount of braking power these brakes have is absurd. I found myself skidding too much at first, but as I transitioned into getting used to them, it's like been an awesome change running forward. Any steep descent has been just much better. So now I have these on my 2025 Rocky Mountain Altitude. Suits the bike a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, at first, right, these brakes are like visually really big and striking, but they install and operate and kind of live with and work with just like previous RAM brakes. There's a couple changes, but they're pretty small. One of them being like mineral oil being the fluid used in there, um, and then the brake pad shape. It's a different brake pad that's new and only for the Maven. Third one might be the bleed fitting and like the whole bleed set. It's a different size than previous, but it's suited only for mineral oil. So it does use a separate bleed kit, but SRAM's bleeding edge is really nice, and it still does use that. So they install the same. They're pretty much the same to work on. SRAM's got a lot of information on some setup videos, the couple different steps to help make the setup really, really nice. But overall, like easy to install, easy to live with. Touch heavier than the codes, the brakes before, but you've got a bit of a different rotor size on there if you size down, so some weights might kind of be where you were at previous. So not a whole lot to worry about there. I'd say you like big power, get the big brakes.
Basically, with the amount of power these brakes give you, it's really meant for fast, steep descending, and especially heavier guys. I'm 6', 220. I don't ride e-bikes, but if you ride e-bikes, these are the ones for you. Just the extra weight is not noticeable with these brakes. Another thing that Eric didn't mention was that with these brakes, SRAM released a new brake adapter. These brakes will only work with those due to the larger pad size. If you use the older style, you probably won't get a good contact patch between your rotor and your pad. So make sure you pick one of those up when you're taking these out. So these brakes have easily turned into my favorite ones. I was up at Sunrise Bike Park, super gnarly, super steep, loose tech up there, and it's just like, I've ridden TRPs, I've ridden Hayes, I've ridden SRAM Code RCs. These just take the king with braking power and control. These are going to elevate your ride.
Overall, yeah, just like Angel said, these brakes are now my new favorite brakes. I think I'd run them on anything shy of a true cross country bike. I just love the power, the modulation is there. It's just given me like more control and just suited like my brake preference that I've developed over my years of riding. So I think it's an awesome product developed and suits me in riding a trail bike.
All right, guys, thank you for stopping in and checking out our YouTube channel. Stay tuned for more mountain bike content just like this. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below and make sure you like and subscribe.